Hey you guys, this is Jerry Mateo with In the Dawn, and today we're going to be taking a look at two of my favorite new distortion pedal emulations. So Kuassa is a company that I use a lot of their products. I own a lot. I've bought a lot of them. I've gotten a couple of them for free, but I, for the most part, actually buy most of their stuff because it's so cheap, the quality is so good, and they're fun. Now, recently they released a whole series of effects pedals. They have a free noise gate, they have a chorus pedal, a phaser, a flanger, a tremolo, and I'm actually using the chorus for this. So if I play this guitar real quick, you can hear it if I bypass it, and we can see what this sounds like at 100%. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys the type of sounds you can kind of get with this overdrive and their distortion. So they also have a fuzz pedal, and each and every one of these pedals actually emulates 5 different unique stomp boxes that's very popular in its era and time. So this overdrive is blues, boutique, mad, modern, and pro. Pro is basically supposed to be that classic tube screamer style sound. Blues, I'm assuming is probably a blues driver. I have a couple of those, and I'm kind of noticing they sound a little bit like that. Boutique, mad, and modern, I'm not entirely sure, but the basic controls is you have an input drive, a B button, you have a dry wet knob, and you have a 1 times oversampling all the way to 8 times oversampling. I've personally noticed that the oversampling is a huge thing. If I drive the blues all the way up, and we'll see what we can get with it, and we listen to the high end and the low end sustain. Now we're going to go to times 8. You notice a huge difference. You get a lot more sustain, you get a lot more detail when you have your oversampling. So I'm assuming they use the times 1 so you can track, and then the times 8 so when you mix or master something. Now, one thing is that these are actually pretty realistic. I like these. And the reason why I like these is because I actually mix with a lot of stomp boxes when I'm doing stuff. For snare drums, I love using fuzz pedals. I only own one because it's the only one I ever really need. It's a Ibanez fuzz pedal. I forgot what it's called. It's over there somewhere. But they have actually pretty much replaced mine because it has 5 different ones and has a dry wet knob. Now, the overdrive pedals are really cool because you can use them on vocals to kind of drive something up because they're so subtle. You don't get a lot of noticeable issues with it. And their distortion is just so much fun. So let's check out the blues sound. Do a classic little trick of bringing your overdrive all the way down and using it as a kind of gain boost with like some color. So one thing you'll notice that these are very clean if I play. It doesn't get dirty or gross. So if I mess with the tone knob, we can see how clean this thing is. Let's set this back to normal. Let's try boutique. Kind of like a more mid-range heavy, kind of just driven to sound fat sound. So the tone knob actually sounds really good when you turn it up on this one. Let's try the mad. Listen to that low end. Really cool thing I like is that since you can step between them, you can kind of hear the differences of the distortion. Now, modern sounds pretty cool, a little bit thin and kind of glassy. Now we're going to check out the Pro, which is supposed to be their Tube Screamer style sound. And a reason why this is a big deal is because Tube Screamers are known to be very clean, have a really tight low end, and a very, very clean and focused high end. So the one thing you'll notice is we do have a very clean high end. And that low end is super cleaned up. You don't really get much of it. Let's try turning the tone down all the way down. Very clean still. Let's try all the way up. That sounds really, really good to me. Let's try driving this hardcore. Now, because of the wet dry knob, I really recommend trying this out in a mix on some vocals. But for now, we're going to check out my favorite one for actually recording guitar, which is their distortion pedals. So let me just play this. Now, one thing I really want you to notice is the ×1 sounds completely different than ×8. It feels like a veil's been lifted. Let's see what this classic one can do if we drive it like crazy. Sounds pretty cool. Really clean, a classic distortion sound, just like it states. Next up, let us check out Heavy. Now, Heavy kind of reminds me of that Metal Zone pedal that everyone had when they were a kid. Just super scooped and just way over the top. Lead kind of reminds me of a super lead pedal. And what I used to do with my super lead pedal is I would drive it like crazy and bring down the tone a little bit. Now, there is no post-processing. And that's the sound of the amp that I'm going through. Next, let's try this metal. Now, this is a lot of a chunkier, thicker sound. We're going to have to definitely clean this up with the tone knob. Let's compare that to the lead. This would be a really nice rhythm sound. Now, Pro is the last one for this one. And that has a really big high-end heavy sound, so let's bring down with the tone. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. This was more of a first impressions kind of video, but that is because I'm planning on doing a series where we actually record and mix a song using just plugins. So we're going to use a virtual drummer, we're going to use virtual amps, but we're going to see if we can do a series, we can see what we can do using as much software as possible. And then we can record it, mix it, do everything together, and yeah. Let me know if that seems like something you guys would be interested in. But overall, my first impressions of these plugins are they are amazing. So stay tuned because while we're doing that, I will definitely show you guys how you could use this in a real world mixes. Anyway, that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been Jerry Mateo with In the DAW, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.